What up, YouTube? What up, boxing fans? I'm here to ask a simple question. Is Saul Canelo Alvarez ducking true junior middleweight contenders? True, true, the true champions that aren't being crowned. Is Canelo Alvarez ducking them? Is Canelo Alvarez avoiding tougher challenges and credible opponents at 154 pounds? Um, this is a question that really has to do with matchmaking because Golden Boy Promotions, as a company, sees the potential in Canelo Alvarez as a future superstar. They see him as the next Oscar De La Hoya. Let's be frank. That's how they see Canelo Alvarez. He draws crowds like him. He, he's a prospect and he's getting sold out stadiums. He's getting thousands of fans cheering for him for beating up on guys like Alfonso Gomez. He really has uh, the heart of Spanish and Mexican fan base. So what Golden Boy is doing is simply matching up Canelo Alvarez with opponents that he's always going to look good against, like a Shane Mosley who's old, like a Paul Williams who was set to have that date. Canelo Alvarez would have just looked good against Paul Williams. Same for James Kirkland. I know James Kirkland is a great fighter with great stamina, and he's really the Arturo Gatti of our age. But considering the style of Canelo Alvarez, he really would have just an incredibly hard time dealing with the speed and quickness of Canelo Alvarez. Whereas guys like Erislandy Lara, who are defensively sound and with great foot movement and great counterpunching skills, would give Canelo Alvarez all he can handle in the ring. And Golden Boy Promotions simply feels that if Canelo looks bad in a fight, much like how Oscar De La Hoya fought Pernell Whitaker, he looked awful in that fight. They basically don't want him to get exposed because that doesn't help him in a big matchup against Floyd Mayweather. That's only going to have him lose credibility for a big money fight, which is what Golden Boy wants to do. They want to put Canelo Alvarez in their new Oscar De La Hoya against Floyd Mayweather. And they want to hype that up. However, he is simply not ready. And if he cannot get past the top contenders at 154, and I'm talking about Erislandy Lara, I'm talking about Austin Trout, who's a champion in that division. And just it really reflects on Canelo Alvarez management team that basically the two frontrunners that have been speculated about on sites like Fight Hype are Carlos Quintana, because he's got a bigger name apparently. I don't see how he has a bigger name. All Carlos Quintana has done is lost to bigger names. That's all. He's not a bigger name. He's just lost to bigger names. Erislandy Lara beat Paul Williams convincingly and got robbed. Carlos Quintana beat him the first time and got knocked the fuck out in the second fight. I do not see how Carlos Quintana is a credible opponent. He's someone that would only get knocked out against Canelo Alvarez. And who's the next guy that's being speculated with? Guess what? It's Marcos Maidana coming off a loss. Like, let's get serious here. The only real credible opponents that Canelo Alvarez can face are three guys. One is Erislandy Lara. Number two, Carlos Molina. I'd like to see that fight. I think that's the fight that they should make. Number three, simply put, is Austin Trout, who's a champion in that division and doesn't get the credit he deserves for being undefeated. And Golden Boy is reluctant to make those matchups. Why? Because they feel like Canelo Alvarez needs to be developed a bit more. Now, it's really hard to say what's going to happen on September 15th. In my opinion, I think this card is just like, it's in dead water, to be honest. There's really no main event And they're trying, unless they put in one of those contenders, that card's not going to stand to the top ranked card. I don't give a fuck what the undercard is. If I had the choice, I'm obviously picking Martinez versus Chavez. That's great fight written all over it. So Canelo Alvarez, it's hard to be in his position because he's really the golden boy, and the promotional outfit is basically giving him the offers for the fights, and he's taking them. And obviously, he's just gonna take the one with the most money and the easiest fight. Simple, right? But he's really got to step up as a champion in 154, having only one title. As a true champion, to want to fight, you have to beat the best, and that involves unifying the division, unify the division, and beat other champions like an Austin Trout, like a guy like Erislandy Lara, who's a champion in my eyes, who's an uncrowned champion for a long time. So that's the fight that the people want to see, and that's the fight that the boxing community wants to see. In my opinion, is Canelo Alvarez ducking Erislandy Lara? His promotional team is definitely ducking Erislandy Lara, and if he does not fight him uh, in the recent future, he is ducking Erislandy Lara. Point blank, period. It is what it is. I like Canelo Alvarez. I think he has a lot of talent, but he ain't ready for no Erislandy Lara. Straight up. He's just got Erislandy Lara, experience wise, is way more experienced. And he's just, I think he's a better overall boxer. But Canelo Alvarez has great skills too. We saw him fight through a cut against Shea Mosley. We saw him beat Shea Mosley on the inside. Who would have expected that? So Canelo Alvarez has definitely a bright future in boxing, but he's got to step up to the plate and fight the best contenders out there, or else he's just going to be ridiculed, just like I'm doing right now, because you know he's avoiding high quality competition. Point blank, period. That's how I see it. Take care, guys. Canelo Alvarez, are you ducking Erislandy Lara? Take the fight, man. Take the fight. Step up to the plate. Take care.